Right. Now, please take this question. And this question we are going to work out fully. And that's going to be your exam-based question. So please write down. Consider the following demand and supply tables of a product. Consider the following demand and supply tables of a product. Hope you can clearly observe this table. Prices are given 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. QD 400, 300, 200, 100, 0. QS 0, 100, 200, 300, 400. Okay. So I am going to do this calculation from the beginning. From the very basic level we are going to do. Therefore, those who have any problem in the basic level, even no issue, please concentrate well and get the maximum. Okay. Okay, let us write the questions first. Below the table, you can write down this. Okay, boys, these are the questions. Please copy this. Okay. Then 8 rupees, 300. 8 rupees, 300. Taking the 8 price in the vertical axis, quantity in the horizontal axis. 12 rupees, 200. 12 rupees, 200. 16 rupees, 100. Okay. 20 rupees, 0. So linking these points and should draw the demand curve. Okay. This is your demand curve. So you have tried this as demand. Just if you write D, even no problem. Have you drawn the demand curve? Demand curve is okay. Okay, so So I'm doing little faster because this is the way I should do. And in case if you have any issues in following, please tell me, I can reduce the speed. Right. So the demand curve has been drawn. Now the supply curve is going to be drawn. To draw the supply curve, price and QS you have to mark 40, 40, 8 100, 8 100, okay, 12 200 this point, 16 300, 16 300 this point, okay, 20 400, 20 400. Okay. So we have to link these points and the supply curve is coming. Right. So you want to name this as supply. This is supply and this is demand. Okay. And you can see that the demand and supply curves cut at particular point. So you can see this is a price is there and a quantity. This is the quantity and this is the price. So after drawing the graph, just below the graph, you can write equilibrium price. You can write in sentences properly in the exam, equilibrium price. Here I am writing briefly PE. Okay. In the short form, I have written PE. In the exam, you can write as equilibrium price. Otherwise, you just keep PE. It's not a problem. It's not a big issue. So how much is the price now? 12 rupees. Quantity, equilibrium quantity, 200 units. Okay. Equilibrium price is 12 rupees. Equilibrium quantity is 200 units. Just check whether it is clear for you. Consumer expenditure 12 into 200. So it's going to be 2,400. Consumer expenditure is 2,400. Did you understand? Right. So see, price is 12, quantity is 200. That means consumers are buying 200 units at the price of 12 each. Therefore, the expenditure is 2,400. And also you can see producer revenue. Producer revenue, if you take producer revenue, that also the same. Producer revenue, you can see producer revenue is also 12 into 200. Okay, 12 into 200. That is also 2,400. That means what? In a market where there is no government, whatever the expenditures of the consumer is the revenue of the producer. That means you all are giving 2,400 to the producer, and producer is receiving that amount, and from that amount he is not spending anything in addition to this. Okay, அப்ப உங்களோட இன்கம் தான் உங்களோட எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் தான் என் இன்கம். Therefore, you are giving 2,400 and I am receiving the same 2,400. Did you understand? So A part consumer expenditure and producer revenue. That is okay. Doubt vanda kelungo. At the same time, this is your last moment. Adanala, we won't be repeating this. That means we won't be having chance of repeating the same thing again. Therefore, finally, whatever things we discuss, that is our final discussion. So think that we won't be getting any chance of learning the same again. So this is our last discussion. And I'll final, first and last, everything perfectly understand. Okay. Right. Now, B part, price elasticity of demand and price elasticity of supply, PED and PES at equilibrium. Okay, PED and PES at equilibrium. I will be discussing the elasticity as a separate heading. Don't worry about that. Elasticity as a separate heading I will do. Anyway, the PED and PES regularly tested with the market equilibrium. That particular section along this we will cover up. So here, without explaining anything about the elasticity, straight away we'll try to complete the calculation. Just understand like this. Okay, now listen. PED formula. Some of you all know the PED formula here. Some of you all don't know the PED formula. It's not a problem. Now try to learn from the beginning. Everybody will understand. Okay. This is the PED formula. The equation, very simple equation that is easily you can remember. PED is equal to delta QD over delta P into price over QD. And a doubt is asked whether we have an equation for consumer expenditure. உண்மையில consumer expenditure producer revenue க்கு direct equation நாங்க யூஸ் பண்றல. In case if you want to use, you can say price into quantity. அவ்வளவுதான். Consumer expenditure price into quantity, producer revenue also price into quantity. Okay, right. Now let's continue the PED. So PED delta QD over delta P into P over QD. Delta QD means what? Change in QD. So you can see QD at the price of 4, it was 400. At the price of 8, it is 300. Our change in QD minus 100. Can you understand? Change in QD minus 100. QD drops by 100, no? Therefore, minus 100. Change in price is 4. Change in price is 4. And you are required to calculate PED at equilibrium. Equilibrium la PED calculate pannon. Therefore, price must be the equilibrium price, that is 12. Okay. Quantity must be the equilibrium quantity, 200. Delta QD minus 100. Delta P plus 4 into price must be the equilibrium price, that is 12. Quantity must be the equilibrium quantity, that is 200. All right. So now it's a simple maths. 100, 200, 2, 4, 12, 3. So 3 by 2 minus 1.5. Frankly tell me, did you all understand this minus 1.5? Right. Now the PES. Okay. Now the PES. So PES also, we have a very simple formula, that is delta QS over delta P into P over QS. Okay. Delta QS over delta P into P over QS. So delta QS means change in QS. But change in QD when the 400 to 300 minus 100. So change in QS 0 to 100 plus 100. 100. Change in price 8, 4, 12, sorry, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, like that it's coming. So change in price is 4. Price must be the equilibrium price 12. Quantity must be the equilibrium quantity 200. So 100 to 200, 2, 4, 12. Then for this also, the answer is 1.5. 1.5 is coming. Is it clear? Okay. Now the next one, consumer surplus and producer surplus, isn't it? Third part, consumer surplus and producer surplus thane? Right, consumer surplus and producer surplus. Okay. So there is a theory for consumer surplus and producer surplus. That also I will discuss separately as a theory, but whatever the calculation part here we will cover. Actually, in consumer surplus and producer surplus, calculation only 99% we have. Theory just what it is like that, if you know, that's enough. Very good example, 2021 paper. Question number 3, first part. Explain consumer surplus and producer surplus. So meaning also time to time coming, and calculations only mostly coming from that. Right? Right. So when you find the consumer surplus, but on conceptual I'm explain பண்ண தேவையில்ல. At a stretch directly will go to the formula, because last moment நான் திரும்ப திரும்ப சொல்லிட்டு வரேன். லாஸ்ட் மோமெண்ட்னால இப்போ கன்செப்ட் எல்லாம் பெருசாக நாங்கள் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ண தேவையில்ல. அதோட அப்ளிகேஷன் எப்படி எக்ஸாமுக்கு வரேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு விளங்கிட்டா போதும். மோர் தேன் தட் நத்திங் நீடட். ஓகே. இப்போ நாங்கள் கன்சியூமர் சர்ப்ளஸ் கால்குலேட் பண்ணுற நேரம், லிசன் கேர்ஃபுல்லி, தேர் இஸ் அ சிம்பிள் ஃபார்முலா சிஎஸ். இதை கொஞ்சம் மெமரைஸ் பண்ணணும். பட் தேர்ஸ் அ தியரி. வித் த தியரி இஃப் ஐ கம் வித்தவுட் மெமரைசிங் யூ கேன் டூ. As it is the last moment, directly I have given the equation, right? So write down this equation. Very easy equation. QD into, right? QD into MDP. MDP in short is maximum demand price. QD into maximum demand price minus buyer's price. PB means buyer's price, okay? QD into maximum demand price minus buyer's price over 2. Consumer surplus, if you take, don't forget again, I'm highlighting QD consumers in the QD, maximum demand price minus buyer's price over 2. Right. Now listen. Okay, listen. Now always remember, QD means what? Quantity is demanded. Now the question is at the market equilibrium. Market equilibrium in the sense what? Price 12, quantity 200. Price 12, quantity 200. Okay. So listen carefully. Market equilibrium quantity is both the QD and QS. Market equilibrium lavara quantity idane. That equilibrium quantity is the QD as well as QS. Quantity demanded as well as quantity supplied. The same way, market equilibrium price is the buyer's price as well as seller's price. Buyer's price is that, seller's price is that. So that so what happens is QD, how much? Can somebody tell me what is the QD now? Yes, QD 200 will come. Very good. Then see maximum demand price. Maximum demand price is very much carefully understand. Wherever the demand curve cuts the price axis. What is that? 20. Wherever the demand curve cuts the price axis. Okay. So how much is that? 20. And there's a small misunderstanding among many students. They think that whichever the price mentioned at the top of the demand curve, so price axis like that. So for example, here, this will be 24. No? Then some people think that maximum demand price is 24. That won't be. Demand curve on the price axis cut pannado, that is the one maximum demand price. Therefore, 20. Buyer's price means equilibrium price. Why it is equilibrium price? We are asked to calculate consumer surplus at equilibrium. Okay, over 2. Right. Now the consumer surplus 800 rupees. Everybody understood? Now we'll come to the calculation of producer surplus. So producer surplus calculation, very simple formula, producer surplus. Consumer surplus நாங்க QD ன்னு போட்டா producer surplusல QS ன்னு வரும். QS into okay. So here consumer surplus, here QD comes, producer surplus QS comes. Consumer surplus maximum demand price minus buyer's price. Producer surplus seller's price minus minimum supply price over 2. Consumer surplus QD into maximum demand price minus buyer's price over 2. Producer surplus QS into seller's price minus minimum supply price over 2. Now listen, this 20 is the maximum demand price. Wherever the demand curve cuts the price axis. This 4 is the minimum supply price. Wherever the supply curve cuts the vertical axis. Demand curve price axis cut பண்ற இடம் தான் maximum demand price. Supply curve price axis cut பண்ற இடம் தான் minimum supply price. Therefore, at the equilibrium, QD and QS are equal. So then, QS is 200. QS is 200. Seller's price, again I am reminding you all, equilibrium price la than the producer surplus KT. But equilibrium price is both the buyer's price as well as seller's price. So that it's 12 minus minimum supply price. Minimum supply price is 4 over 2. So 200 into 8 over 2. This also equally coming, but not always equal. So producer surplus 800. Understood? Okay, boys. Consumer surplus 800, producer surplus 800. Now see, I will just show you the areas we have covered so far here, that consumer surplus and producer surplus. Now see this, 12 rupees buyer's price, 200 QD, maximum demand price 20. So this triangle is the consumer surplus. The same way, 12 rupees seller's price, 200 QS, because at market equilibrium, seller's price and buyer's price same, QD and QS same. So seller's price, QS, this is the minimum supply price. So this, the triangle in the below part is the producer surplus. So when you add the consumer surplus and producer surplus, you get the economic surplus. Understood? Consumer surplus and producer surplus, when you add, what do you get? Economic surplus. Therefore, 800 plus 800 plus 800 is equal to 1600. And don't think that always the CS and PS, consumer surplus and producer surplus, come equally. In this question, they have come equally. Okay. Anybody having doubts in CS and PS calculation? If you have anything, please let me know. Are you okay with the consumer surplus and producer surplus? Okay. So can you tell me what is the next question? Next question.
If the price is fixed at rupees 16, calculate the excess supply and excess supply price.
Right. If the price is fixed as rupees 16, calculate the excess supply and excess supply price. Right. It is another very important part in the past papers. You know, in this question, market equilibrium is 12. Price is 12. Equilibrium price is 12. So in the market, even though the equilibrium price is fixed, that price will not always be there practically because of some forces. Other than that price, another price will be continued. So in this case, they are asking if the market price, if the price is fixed as rupees 16, calculate the excess supply and excess supply price. Right. Now in your graph, what you should do is 16 is higher than the equilibrium. No, equilibrium is 12. So the price is 16. So take 16 and draw a line. Okay. Along this 16, you must draw a line. Then, if you want, you can draw a line down also like this. Right. Now its real meaning is this. When the price is rupees 12, consumers were demanding 200 units, producers were supplying 200. So suddenly the price is fixed above the equilibrium price. Equilibrium price is 12. Now the price is fixed as 60. Price is fixed above. Okay. When the price is made higher than the equilibrium, when the price is made higher than the equilibrium, producers are motivated. You can understand practically, if a price is increased, producers are happy. So producers are motivated. Okay. Therefore, what happens is at the price of 12, producers were supplying 200. Now at the price of 16, they are supplying 300. They try to supply 300. The other side, at the price of 12, consumers were demanding 200. Now when the price is 16, their demand is decreasing. So they are demanding how many units? 100. Price on increase ஆகிற நேரம் producers are motivated, so they are supplying more. Consumers are demotivated, they are demanding less. Practical thing, no? Therefore, 16 rupees la QD 100, QS 300. So what is the question they are asking? Excess demand and excess demand price. So not excess demand, excess supply. So excess supply is equal to QS minus QD. Excess supply is equal to QS minus QD. அப்போ இதில் 16 rupeesல QS is 300. QS is 300. QD is 100. So what is the excess supply? 200 units. Is it clear? Excess supply 200 units. The meaning here is at the price of 16, producer is ready to supply 300. Consumer is demanding only 100. Therefore, in producer's hand, another 200 unsold stock is there. I'll explain this again. If the price is set above the equilibrium, if equilibrium price வந்து 12 தானே, 12க்கு மேல price வந்து fix ஆகினா producers என்ன செய்யற? They think that they can supply more, so they are supplying 300. But the consumers, even though they were demanding 200 before the 200 at the equilibrium, when the price is increased, they are demanding less. They are demanding less to 100. But there is a deviation between QS and QD. That deviation is the excess supply. So at the price of 16, QS is 300, QD is 100. So QS minus QD 200 excess supply. Now did you understand? Your feedback is very important. So please tell me your opinions, ideas and all. Did you understand this excess supply?
Sir,
Right. But is it practical? When a price is set above the equilibrium, there is a surplus coming. There is excess supply is coming. Now tell me, if the excess supply is there, or product or excess supply vanda, what will happen to the price? Will the price decrease or increase?
Decrease.
Excess supply vanda. Excess supply means what? Surplus, no. Excess supply is surplus, no. But surplus on vanda, if there is a surplus, what will happen to the price? Or product வந்து கூட produce பண்ணி பட்டுச்சு. That amount can't be sold fully. That time, if the producer wants to sell everything, he has to sell at a lower price or higher price? He will have to sell at a lower price. So this is the concept here. That means whenever there is an excess supply, there is a price drop. Whenever there is an excess supply, there is a price drop. So excess supply price means we must understand what will be the actual price after the excess supply. Excess supply vandrone price drop ஆகும் தானே. எந்த அளவுக்கு price drop ஆகும்னு பார்ப்போம். Therefore, see this. This is the way we have to check. This is the excess supply. Okay. This is the excess supply. Price drop when you calculate in the excess supply. You just go to the right side here. Right side. Wherever it comes the demand curve. This is the market price. This is the market price. Method. Right side wherever the line cuts the demand curve, that is the market price. So that 16 rupees they tried to sell, but they are now selling at 8 rupees. So excess supply price, they expected to sell 16. Now they are selling at 8. That is the one excess supply price, 8 rupees. Okay.
So can you repeat that? Yes.
I'll explain this again. I hope everybody would have understood the excess supply. Excess supply price in our past papers we don't have so far. Still, it is there in the syllabus. So very simple. If there is an excess supply, there will be a drop in the price. Because of the excess supply, there will be a price drop. We must check how far, to what extent the price has fallen down. You understand? See this 16 rupees the 300. So then from this extent, how much the price comes? 8. Then 16 minus 8 is 8. Excess supply price. Okay. Excess supply price, expected 16, actual 8. Therefore, the difference is 8. Some people misunderstand and they write this 8 as the excess supply price. உண்மையில அந்த 8 this is not the excess supply price. Excess supply price is 16 minus 8. This difference is excess supply price. Now understood? Right. Are you clear with excess supply? Yeah, another doubt is asked how to do this without the graph. That means how to find this excess supply price without the graph. That is the next question. Now, as I told in the beginning, I am going to do two full questions. One is the full question in graph, another one full question in equation. So don't worry about that. Everything will be perfectly covered, inshallah. Right? Right. Now, Right. So in market equilibrium, you get complete equation method questions also. A very good evidence is there. Recent past paper means 2020. It was like 10 marks full question on equation came, and there are many. So that is also important. So let's do one calculation on equation method also. Okay. So quickly write down this question. You have been given the demand and supply equations. QD equation 20 minus 2P, QS equation minus 10 plus 3P. Quickly write down these questions. Okay, quickly take these questions. Okay, we will start the questions. First one, equilibrium price and quantity. 20 minus 2p is equal to minus 10 plus 3p. 20 minus 2p is equal to minus 10 plus 3p. So this minus 10 comes to this side. 30 is equal to 5p. So the equilibrium price 30 over 5 is equal to 6 rupees. Then the quantity, the 6 rupees you want to substitute in the demand function, otherwise in the supply function. Equilibrium price is 6 rupees, no? That 6 rupees you want to substitute in the demand function or else in the supply function. So then demand function, if I substitute, it will be 20 minus 2 into 6. So 20 minus 2 into 6 is 12. That is 8 units. Equilibrium quantity is 8. In case if you have substituted the price in the supply function also, you get the same one. That means 3 into 6, 18. 18 minus 10 is 8. Okay. So price is 6 rupees, quantity 8 rupees. Normally, when you work out a full equation method question, you'd better draw a rough diagram in the side of the answers. Just a normal diagram, just roughly you have to sketch. You see this is just a demand curve and a supply curve. So the demand curve, demand and supply cut here. So then 6 rupees, 8. Like this, if you draw a rough diagram and continue, your answers will be correct. And in case if you make any mistake also, you can quickly check and trace your mistake. Another side load rough diagram and draw on temporal null. 6 rupees and 8 units. Second part, PED and PES at equilibrium. Listen, PED, you must write the usual equation. PED, the usual equation you must write. That is delta QD over delta P into P over QD. Delta QD over delta P into P over QD. Delta QD over delta P into P over QD. So when it comes to the graphical method, in the table, you will have the delta QD as well as delta P. In equation method, you don't have separately delta QD or delta QP. So what we do is, instead of delta QD or delta P, we are writing simple B, the slope of the demand equation. Therefore, this equation has been converted as B into P over QD. You must show both this. This also you write and this also you write. Delta QD over delta P into P over QD. So B into P over QD. So what is this B? In your demand equation, this minus 2. Minus 2 is the B. Price is 6. Quantity is 8. Is it clear? B is minus 2. Price at equilibrium, now they are asking. Therefore, price is 6 rupees. Quantity 8. So that 604302 minus 1.5 is the answer. Everybody understood this PED answer? Some past papers for this 4 marks they are giving. Minimum 2. Definitely minimum 2. Less than 2, we don't have past paper questions. Is it okay? 2 marks, 4 marks, let it come. Then when you come to the PES, delta QS over delta P into P over QS. Delta QS over delta P into P over QS. In this also, same like the previous, we are not doing according to the table. Therefore, the delta QS, delta P values are not being revealed. So what we do is, instead of delta QS over delta P, we are writing B. So then the equation is changing to B into P over QS. B is the slope of the supply function. The slope of the demand function was -2, therefore it was -2 here. Supply function, it is +3, so we are writing just 3 and price is at equilibrium now, 6 rupees, quantity is 8. Therefore 18 over 8, 9 over 4. So 9 over 4 in the sense 2, 8, 1, 2.25. 2.25 is the PES at equilibrium. PED at equilibrium minus 1.5. PES at equilibrium minus plus 2.25. Those who understood this, please tell, and sorry, those who didn't understand, please tell.
Sir, can you explain one more time?
Yes. PES delta QS over delta P into P over QS. We don't have the delta QS and delta P separately in the table. So what we do is delta QS over delta P we are writing as B. Therefore, the equation becomes B into P over QS. B is 3 because QS equals 10 plus 3P. So it's 3. And 6 is the price equilibrium. And 8, equilibrium quantity is 8. PED delta QD or delta P is B. So B into P over QD. B is -2 and price and quantity is same. Now, okay. So are you confident now in finding the PED and PES at whatever the prices? Now, for example, here, calculate the PED at rupees 8, like we'll say. Then delta QS or delta P into P over, so delta QD or delta P into P over QD. B into P over QD. B is -2 itself. Price is 8. Then 8 rupees you want to substitute in the demand function and get the QD. 2 into 8, 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. Then it will be 4. Then finding. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now come to the next one. Consumer surplus, producer surplus, and economic surplus at equilibrium. Consumer surplus, producer surplus, and economic surplus at equilibrium. Right. So listen, consumer surplus when you calculate, recall the formula. CS is equal to QD into maximum demand price minus buyer's price over 2. Okay, no? Consumer surplus equation. QD into maximum demand price minus buyer's price over 2. Now, where is the maximum demand price? It is here. If it is the graphical method question, automatically this number will be revealed. The number direct hour, and wherever the demand curve cuts the price exists, that number. But in equation method, we must find out that number. Can you understand? It is equation method, the maximum demand price we have to find. To find the maximum demand price, you want to show that working also. Maximum demand price when we calculate, we must put the QD function 0. What is our QD function? 20 minus 2p, no? QD function 20 minus 2p, no? So maximum demand price 20 minus 2p is equal to 0. அப்படி கணிச்சு price வந்து வரும். QD equals 20 minus 2p is equal to 0. So 20 is equal to 2p, price equals 10. So we must find out the maximum demand price. In graphical method, again I am saying, the graphical method, you are given the table, so then you can automatically draw the graph and find out the maximum demand price. But when it comes to equation method, you must find out the maximum demand price only using the demand equation. Therefore, QD is equal to 0. What is the price? That is 10. Now, QD means what? Equilibrium quantity, that is 8. Maximum demand price 10. Bias price 6 because equilibrium price, no? Over 2. So 8 into 4 over 2. So consumer surplus 16 rupees. Is it okay? Consumer surplus 16 rupees. Clearer? Now the producer surplus will calculate. When calculating producer surplus, you know, QS into seller's price minus minimum supply price over 2. QS into seller's price minus minimum supply price over 2. Then you know QS is 8 rupees because equilibrium level the bias price, seller's price, sorry, QS and QD same, no? So that is 8 into seller's price is 6 at equilibrium, no? But we don't know the minimum supply price. That we have to find out. If it is graphical method, this number will be there, but equation method we have to find. Minimum supply price, QS is equal to 0. So what is the QS there? What is the supply function? Can you tell?
Minus 10 plus 3p.
Minus 3 plus
Minus 10 plus 3p.
minus 10 plus 3p, right? So it is minus 10 plus 3p supply function. Minus 10 plus 3p is equal to 0. 3p is equal to 10. Price equals 10 over 3. That is 3.333 like that trigger. So let us keep as 3.3 and 2. Then 6 minus 3.3. You have to show this working. minimum supply price calculate பண்ற மெத்தடை நீங்க present இந்த answer sheetல காட்டணும். And maximum demand price calculate பண்ற மெத்தடையும் you have to show in the answer sheet. Over 2. So you know 8 into 6 minus 3.6 means 2.4 over 2. So is it 9.6? Producer surplus 9.6, okay? Are you clear with the producer surplus of 9.6? Again, I will explain. Consumer surplus clear? Consumer
sir.
surplus clear answer?
Yes, sir.
Right. Producer surplus. QS into seller's price minus minimum supply price over 2. QS is 8. QS is 8. Seller's price is 6. Minimum supply price we have to get from the equation minus 10 plus 3p is equal to 0. 3p is equal to 10. Price equals 10 over 3. That is 3.333. So we have made it 3.3. So that QS 8. 8 minus 3.3. 8 minus 3.3. No. 8 minus 3.3 over 2. 8 minus 3, 2.6 ഇല്ല 2.7 over 2. So tell me the final answer. Silver and the final number ತಿಳಿಯೋದ್ರಿಯಾ? Just check that and you all correct it if it is necessary to be corrected, the final number. But the methods are correct. Is it 10.8? Just check and answer it. Right. I hope you understood now. Right. 10.8 வருது இல்லையா? Yes, 10.8. Okay, please correct that. It's 10.8. Okay. Right. Now, did you all understand the method? The method is the most important thing. Method is clear? Okay, very good. So we have done a lot actually because one full question in the graph, one full question in equation means, so you are getting actually question number 2, definitely the market equilibrium related questions are coming. So then these are the main areas if they ask for calculation. Theory means like changes in market equilibrium, those areas. Okay. Can you read the last question or the next question?
Excess demand at ₹3.
Excess demand at ₹3. Right. So when a price is fixed below the equilibrium, you will get the excess demand. So the question is what? Excess demand at ₹3. Excess demand at ₹3. So listen carefully. When you calculate the excess demand, you should have the QD as well as QS. So what you should do is in equation method, you must find the QD first. QD is 20 minus 2p, no? QD 20 minus 2p done. So excess demand when you find 20 minus 2 into at which price we have to find the excess demand? 3 rupees, is it? At which price we have to find out the excess demand?
3 rupees, sir.
2 rupees, is it?
3.
3.
Yes.
Right. At 3 rupees we have to find out. So then 20 minus 2 into 3. So 20 minus 6. How much? 14 units. QD 14 units. And in your supply function, minus 10 plus 3p. In that also, see this minus 10 plus 3 into 3. Minus 10 plus 9 minus 1. Actually, practically QSO, QD value do not come in minus, but in this question it has come. It's not a problem. That just the conceptual error, not the numerical error. Therefore, this is the way you have to find. Then the excess supply, sorry, excess demand, QD minus QS, 14 minus 1. So what? 15 units. I'll tell the method again. Whatever the price given, if they ask you to find the excess demand, substitute that price and find the QD, and then substitute the same price and find the QS. Then you get the QD and QS, no? And find out the difference, QD, QS difference as excess demand. That's all you have to do. Clearer? Tell me what is the next question. I think that's the last question, is it?
So we have missed a question in question number 3. Excess supply at equilibrium.
How?
Excess supply at equilibrium.
Excess supply at?
Equilibrium. The third question.
Is it the way the question is? Excess supply at equilibrium?
Yes, sir.
Please correct that question. Excess supply can't be at equilibrium, no? So please correct the question as this. Calculate the excess supply at rupees 8. Everybody correct the question, huh? Calculate the excess
Okay.
supply at rupees 8.
Sir, the fifth question is like that, sir. Excess supply at rupees 7.
Then you make like that, as it is.
Okay.
Excess supply is rupees 7, it's there, no?
Yes, sir.
Then that question will do. That's enough. We'll do
Okay.
excess supply at rupees 7, huh? Right.
Sir, so I think the third question is economic surplus or something, sir.
What is the third question? Can you repeat the third question?
Yes, sir. Economic surplus.
Yeah, third question, calculate the CS, PS, and ES at equilibrium. Yes. Third question, calculate the CS, PS, and ES. Consumer surplus, producer surplus, and economic surplus, right? That's the third question.
Yes.
Right. So then, yeah. Calculate the consumer surplus, producer surplus, and economic surplus at equilibrium. That question is already done, no? Consumer surplus, producer surplus, and Economic surplus,
Yes,
we have done, right?
yeah.
Okay, we will calculate excess supply at 7 rupees. So then when you calculate the excess supply at 7 rupees, same like we did excess demand, we have to do. Same like we did excess demand, we have to do. See this. At 7 rupees, no. 20 minus 2 into 7. So 20 minus 14. Then what? 6 units. QS, if you take minus 10 plus, okay, 3 into 7. So 11. Okay. Therefore, the excess supply QS minus QD. QS is what? 11. QD is 6. So 5 units. Now, did you understand excess supply? Everybody okay with the excess demand and excess supply calculations?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So concentrate. Now, there are so many past paper questions. I will just show you one sample. Now see, this is 2020. Question number 2. See this fourth question. In a small town, the market for bread is represented by the following demand and supply equations. So find the equilibrium price and quantity in this market. 2 marks. Calculate the total surplus at the equilibrium. Total surplus means economic surplus. 4 marks. Calculate the price elasticity of demand for bread at the price of 60. That is 4 marks. So totally 10 marks. Okay. So there are very simple questions coming like this. So you want to practice. This is one sample only, and I will be showing lots of questions, and you also have to check the questions in your past paper books. And there are numerous questions asking to find equilibrium price quantity and various things in equation as well as graphical method. Okay. This is 2019 paper question. See this question 2019. Second question, third part. Market demand and supply equations given. Calculate the economic surplus at market equilibrium. 4 marks. Okay. See, this is 2015 paper question. In this, see the fifth one. demand and supply functions given, calculate the equilibrium price and quantity using the equations and show this equilibrium accurately on a graph. 2 marks. Calculate producer surplus and consumer surplus at market equilibrium and show them on the graph. 2 marks. So like this, regularly we are getting questions from market equilibrium. So now market equilibrium, full of calculation in 2 questions, 2 full questions we have done. So if you practice the same 2 questions again, and then if you see the past papers, you'll get a perfect idea about market equilibrium. Then market equilibrium, small theories, there are changes in market equilibrium. That is nothing, very simple. And with that, market equilibrium will be over. Right. So then shall we stop the sessions today? So we have done a big section now and you have to practice, and I'll be uploading some questions in the groups. Please try to work out, and the next class, same day we will fix. And also now since we have to cover up more areas, if you all need, I can do some additional days also, and we will be talking in between, and like after next class we will talk about that. And please practice this market equilibrium area. Then next class we will continue. Is it okay? Any doubts to be asked? Okay, then we'll stop the session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam, sir.